Pasa Raza. So we're over here in Albuquerque, New Mexico with Aron from Stilo Custom Bikes. And I gotta tell you, this is gonna be a little bit more of a rough video than usual, because usually I have my son from Brown Boy Media and all his professional equipment, and today I'm doing it on my cell phone because I ran into this dude. We went to go check out his stuff yesterday. Hopefully we get some B-roll on there. And he is a mentor at our bike club chapter that we have in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we got to see his amazing work and his bikes that you see in the back here. But Aron, tell us a little bit about what you do, bro.
Well, I basically get bikes and I cut them up. That's how I started initially, and you know, over 7.5 years I've managed to kind of tool up a little, and now, you know, over 7.5 years right now I'm doing one-off frames. I'll get Walmart bikes and I'll chop them up and I'll just rearrange them, but I try to keep it lowrider inspired. A lot of my designs are from old cars. You know, I got a frame called the Monte Carlo. I look at cars and I steal body lines from there and I just make frames. You know, so like this one back here is called the Fleet Line. So it has a fast back to it, just like the 48. And that's something I started. I built that frame about 7.5 years ago. And that one's going to California, Southern California, as soon as I'm done with it. And this one here is a knuckle dragger because it has a really low stance. So it still has that cantilever flow to it. I try to keep it like an old school look to it. Like I said, the Lowrider Bikes is where I started.
Right.
And so I try to implement that into the stretch cruisers. You know, I basically kind of stretching them out and lowering them a little more. You know, back then, you know, you had your springer fork and you would be able to just take the spring out and slam it.
Right.
But now, a lot of times I do run the springer forks depending on the style.
Right.
But the triple crown forks is a little more, you can get a little more stability.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, this is what I do, and I started off with lowrider bikes, and I kind of just gradually, now that I'm older, you know, I got a little bit of money to play with, and you know, back then you would just scroll through a magazine and you'd order what you could get.
Right.
You know, but now, you know, being able to just get in the garage and actually, you know, come up with the design and actually bring it to life. You know, that's where my love and passion comes from. This is my artwork, so it just, yeah, it's lowrider inspired. You know, so it's about the culture and just, you know, it's not just Latinos or, you know, there's a big culture around the world that
Japan, all over
yeah,
the place.
oh yeah, yeah, and the Netherlands,
Oh yeah.
out there, because that's all their transportation. That's their transportation is nothing but bikes.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
Flow riding is in the blood, bro.
yeah,
And you know, one of the neat things, man, is that I've gotten to actually follow your stuff, I think, way before that you were volunteering with the bike club.
Yeah.
Just because I thought it was so cool. And then I get to see you mentoring, you know, the kids and working with Rob over here at the, you know, Albuquerque or the Duke City Lowrider Leadership Bike Club. And tell us a little bit about that, man. What got you into that and why do you do it?
well, you know, growing up, I didn't have much, and so when I started building my lowrider bikes, I was 12 years old. I worked under the table at a restaurant. I wasn't even old enough, but you know, they would basically, the waitresses, they would give me their change at the end of the shifts, and you know, that's how I bought my pedals, that's how I bought my cranks, and you know, I built up my first lowrider bike with just, you know, selling newspapers as well. They would pick me up at 3 in the morning and drop me off at random places, and I was only 13, and I built my lowrider bike piece by piece, and you know, I'd sit there in front of my grandma's just cleaning the spokes, and you know, like I said, now fast forward, being able to work with Rob is just an opportunity because he's a legend.
Right.
You know, just even being around him and just being in his presence, just, you can feel it. You can feel the energy. And, you know, at one point I just wanted one bike, and now I'm actually fabricating them. So now it's to the point where I can get back and I can teach what I've learned, you know, through mentorship programs, or even just through the community, just helping the community in any way that I can. You know, and so this kind of keeps it going. You know, I make a little money here and there, and I'm able to put it back into what I do. But not only that, but I can also give to the community, or or help kids. You know, like I said, I don't have a fabrication background. So, you know, what I've learned is through, you know, hard lessons, you know, so everything, you know, from fabrication to design to, you know, it's basically, I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
And the fact that I learned the hard way, if, you know, say one of these kids wanted to get into it, I've learned the hard lessons, so they don't have to.
Right.
So if I'm capable of showing them something or doing something and then picking up something along the way, and whether they get into the bikes or the cars or painting or whatever, but it's just always that easier path for the youth or for, you know, the next generation coming up. And hopefully, you know, if I could show them something and they could take it another step further, you know, it's just an ongoing, you know, passing things down that you learn, you know. And so that's kind of why I do it. You know, I mean, I have a daughter and I'm constantly trying to, you know, I want her to dive into her art and just find her passion, because this has kept me out of a lot of trouble. Growing up building lowrider bikes, I mean, there were gangs where I lived and all around me, but instead I was on my grandma's porch just cleaning those spokes and, you know, keeping my eye, you know, keeping focused on something positive, you know.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that you guys have an amazing team here. You guys are doing great things, and you know, people are going to be looking at your bike saying, how can I get one? So how can they contact you?
Normally just through Instagram, Stilo Customs. It's customs with a K, it ends with a Z. That's normally where I post, and yeah, I mean, reach out to me. You know, I'm constantly building, constantly trying to just work on my craft, you know. So it is definitely, these aren't, you know, these frames are all one of a kind, so it's not something where, you know, I'm a one-man person, where it does take time to build each and every one of them, because there is no directions, there's no, you know, how can I say it?
There's no blueprint.
Yeah, there's no blueprint.
Right.
So everyone, some people are like, well, after 7 you should be good. You should have it down, but it's really, every frame that I make is like starting all over again, because I still run into the same designs, you know, like even from the bottom bracket to the C-post, everyone has a different instinct. So a lot of times my frames are made for somebody, you know, 5'6" to, you know, 5'9", give or take around there. You know, I have made frames for people that are actually taller, but like I said, it's always starting from scratch.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. If you guys want to hit him up, we'll try to drop the link on here on the description, and get yourself a nice custom bike. So we'll see you soon.
Later.